Welcome to the Nuff Said Podcast, episode 36. And this is the last one, officially, sans Jack. There's news for you guys. He's going to be on our next one where we talk Avengers. But this time, we're talking first Avenger, Captain America, 2011. I am so excited to talk about this. Let's get this thing going. I am Rastafarian Rob Southgate, and with me is...
Asthmatic Alil.
Jaffel Jonathan.
Asthmatic. Was that in honor of Steve Rogers in this?
Well, kinda, and I had to puff my inhaler right before we started.
So you're like the 90-pound asthmatic, only you're more like the...
Yeah, you added
290 pound.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
You're 900 pounds?
Well, no, but,
290, I might be a little bit more accurate, right?
Yes.
You know what? I used to be one of those guys at the carnival. I could guess your weight, even though I'm not even looking at you, just from your voice. Jonathan, 97 pounds. How close am I, Jonathan?
Not even close.
I didn't say I was good at it. All right, let's talk Captain America. I am so excited to talk about this one. I'm flipping my cards first just to say I love this movie. This is one of my favorites of these. It's probably one of my favorites of all time. Here's the shocking thing. This is only the second time I've watched it. I loved it that much the first time, and then we started the podcast network, and we're talking, so many shows, so much editing. We have like 40 shows. I edit the lion's share of them. Plus, Martha and I do multiple shows ourselves. I do this. To fit in a movie is tough. To fit in a movie twice is nearly impossible right now. So as much as I love this, I just simply couldn't fit it in. And this was like such a treat to me. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to watch this thing again. And it held up. In fact, I think I liked it even better the second time. What'd you guys think of this one?
Well, I'll go. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. I love it. It's probably I'm not going to count Avengers. It's probably my second favorite Phase 1 movie. It was everything I wanted.
Wait, you're not counting Avengers when you do that?
Right.
So if you count Avengers, it becomes like your third favorite?
Right, because Iron Man is still my favorite.
So that puts it in the middle of the pack, if you do it that way.
Yeah, but you know what? I love all these movies, but
yeah, I get it.
It's hard to...
I get it. I feel the same way, but this one, especially after coming off Thor, as much as I enjoyed watching Thor, then I watched this and I'm like, oh no, this movie is incredible.
I agree. But the thing with this movie that I did not like was the 3D. I saw it in 3D, and
oh, really?
It was actually quite disappointing in 3D.
Now, you know what's funny? A friend of mine saw it when it came out, like opening weekend, saw it in 3D, and he actually had the opposite reaction. He said when he threw that shield and it went 3D, he's like, I don't care about any other 3D in it. That was worth the price of admission. He was like, that was awesome. So
I don't remember that because my eyes were watering so bad. But
it could also be what you saw it in. Like if you saw it in IMAX 3D, it's different than in standard 3D.
Right, and I'm pretty sure I saw it like in the real D 3D, so it wasn't IMAX.
So that could be different. How about you, Jonathan? What do you think of this one?
I think I might have watched the wrong movie.
Uh-oh.
Red Brown?
Get out of here, man.
Uh-oh,
no,
too bad.
He's not painting by the beach. He's not driving around in his van,
Captain America, not even close to the first Avenger.
All right, I'm just good. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, I really dig this movie. I've seen this. I've seen this probably my fourth or fifth time watching this. This time I watched it with a commentary, and really.
I didn't watch commentary on this one. I did on the other ones. Was the commentary good? I'm sure you're going to have lots of tidbits because of that, right?
Well, it was mainly. I mean, we'll get into it, but it was mainly a lot of like pointing out, like, oh yeah, like CGI, like this is where this was, this is where that was. It's interesting, Now,
was it Joe Johnson doing it?
Yes, I think Joe Johnson, and then who were the other people? I don't remember. I think an editor, and then maybe a writer. Then I think maybe a writer was on there. I don't remember.
Now, it's funny. I've seen some backlash, even though this gets like really great ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. I see like on what am I on? IMDb. And now see IMDb, it gets a 6.8.
Yeah.
But on Rotten Tomatoes, it had a decent score, and on the Movie Meter, it has a 98. So it's like, it's kind of all over the place. The thing is, on other podcasts I've listened to, I've heard some backlash against this one, and truly, I cannot understand it. I can't see what they're seeing. Talk about they're seeing a different movie.
Yeah.
Not the one I saw.
Yeah. Maybe they prefer the red brown one.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's so sad. And I thought Joe Johnston did an awesome job. I was a big fan of Rocketeer, and I love his eye for design, and this is the perfect guy for this film.
Yeah. I really thought this film. It was kind of superhero, but then it was also a good World War II film.
It was. Well, we've talked about that how many times now. Every one of these Marvel movies is a different kind of genre. This is a historical, like, World War II war film. In fact, that scene, or that segment where it does the montage where he first goes out and gets to really fight with the Howling Commandos, that was the best. Like, I'm watching that and I thought, man, if they didn't have to get to Avengers, they could have done an entire movie of him with the Howling Commandos, and I would have been down for it.
And I think that's the problem that people had with the movie. And a little bit of my problem as well, because that stuff is so good. You get to the montage, everything speeds up because it's time to get to Avengers. We got to hit X, Y, Z, Red Skull, bury the plane. I wanted more Cap with the Howling Commando. I really did. I was really hoping,
and I can see that too.
And I was really hoping Cap 2 was going to be that, like a flashback movie. But again, I'm not complaining about the movie we got, because the movie we got for Cap 2 was phenomenal. But I actually
thought that the ending had a lot of weight too. If they'd been able to take their time and make a trilogy out of this, I think it would have been just amazing. But they couldn't build their universe the way they are if they had done that. But, the end of the third movie, you have him die, and then you have that after credit scene, maybe where instead of doing it right at the end, but have an after credit where he wakes up and then it leads to Avengers, that would have been just devastating. So here, maybe it was a little bit rushed. And I would have loved to see at least one Howling Commando movie. And it also would have added to the impact of Bucky, quote unquote, dying.
Right. And I think that's another, issue. As much as we get of Steve and Bucky, it seemed like it happened so fast. And then there was still a lot of movie left after that death.
Yeah. You mean after Bucky died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he saved him, quick montage,
and then he dies.
Dies.
You know what? When I first saw it, and this might actually be I might be having a Cap 2 effect going on here. Because when I saw this the first time, that was something that stuck out to me. As much as I enjoyed it, I felt like, wow, they killed Bucky really fast. Like, he's an important character. Where are the Cap and Bucky adventures?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would have liked to see that a little drawn out more. I mean,
yeah, but the fact that we know what happens with the Winter Soldier and everything, really, it didn't bother me as much. Like, the whole time I'm watching Bucky, I'm thinking, hell yeah, he's the Winter Soldier coming up.
Yeah.
So I actually was into that. Now, Hugo Weaving, I was so excited when this first came out. Him playing the Red Skull, you can't get any better for me.
Yeah, I mean, really, this cast, I think it's probably, out of all the Avengers, this is definitely one of the best, if not the best. I mean,
this is a strong cast.
Tommy Lee Jones, Hugo Weaving, Stanley Tucci. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones, mic drop, walk away. That's it.
Right.
That's all you need. Tommy Lee Jones.
Exactly. I don't know if he knew he was in a movie.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was Tommy Lee Jones showing up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you see The Fugitive and you're just like, did he know he was in a movie, or did he just think, hey, somebody's escaped, I better rally the troops and get this guy back. I'm Tommy Lee Jones. Cut out the part where he's Tommy Lee Jones.
Right.
That's kind of how I felt here. Like, we put him in a costume and they're like, go out there and you're training these people. I'm a military commander. I'll take care of that. I love him. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But Hugo Weaving, I've heard, hated this.
Yep, I heard that as well.
Yeah, I heard that as well, yeah.
I don't sit, and I've heard people say you could tell in his performance. Did you guys see it in the performance at all?
I mean, he was, supposed to be angry, so if he was angry, he was channeling that angry to his character to a good point, if he if he hated that day, well, that helps him out.
It came through? Yeah.
Helped.
But you know what? I really, really enjoyed him as the Red Skull, but I will tell you, I also thought, because the Red Skull's not dead. This is something I noticed this time that I didn't notice when I watched it before. He is not dead.
Yeah, same here.
Well, he got transported to...
Right, but the first time I saw it, I didn't realize that. I thought that he disintegrated.
Oh, no, okay. Yeah,
but he doesn't. He
I
gets
can tell.
transported.
I can understand that. But
It might have been something that I did realize back then, but when it came to that part on this viewing, it's been a few years, I was fully expecting him to disintegrate. And then as it started happening, I'm like, wait a minute, he's holding the Tesseract. Wait a minute, he's not going to, and then zoop, he's gone. I'm like, okay, he's not dead. But because of that mask, there are other actors they could put in that role that could pull off the Red Skull really well.
Agreed. But I mean, there's a chance that maybe he did sign a contract and he would be, contracted to come back, but I'm not really sure if he did.
I just don't know about that.
I don't know if he signed a extra deal or not, but if he did, then good for us. I guess he won't like it, of course, but
yeah, he's one of those guys that I'm going to bet he probably did.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
No,
I think that when it comes to like The Hobbit, he signs a multi-picture deal.
He did sign a multiple picture deal. He did
for this.
Yeah, he signed a multiple picture deal for Marvel.
And what's the status on that?
You want me to read a quote?
I do.
He was asked the question right before Cap 2 came out if he signed a multiple picture deal, and he did say that Captain America, he says he thinks with these films that they don't like to bring the villain back, but they might do that for the Avengers. But he does not think he'll be in Cap 2 or 3, and he does not think the Red Skull will be there. He says it's something that he does not want to do again. He said he's glad he did it. I did sign up for a number of pictures, and I suppose contractually I would be obligated to do so if they forced me to. But they wouldn't want to force someone to do it if they didn't want to.
Yeah.
So, and it goes into more stuff about, being an actor and being forced to do stuff. So
yeah, I have a feeling they're going to cut and run on this guy because they don't need that.
Right.
That's weird, man, because he doesn't seem like that guy, but for whatever reason, Marvel tweaked him.
Yep.
But I did enjoy that Red Skull, and I got to say the other thing is on this viewing, because of what we went through this year with S.H.I.E.L.D. and post-Avengers world, man, the Hydra stuff, it all just had so much more impact watching it now. Like, I just really felt those roots. And the other thing that I make no bones about it. I'm a Peggy Carter fan. I'm excited for the series. I love that short. Watching her in this, it made me even more excited. Like, it just filled in all that story. That is really where Marvel is strongest right now. It's really getting you with that kind of stuff. I'm watching Peggy Carter going, hell yeah, that needs to come on TV now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I think the thing with Weaving hating being the Red Skull, I think if you look at the movie, it is so Cap-centric. I mean, during that montage and everything, what do you see the Red Skull doing? Looking at monitors and, like, cursing people. Yeah, he really did nothing in this movie, which was a bit disappointing to me. I mean, he had his fight at the end. Really,
again, it should have been a trilogy, and you should have had the Red Skull be a thread in there that was causing a lot of trouble for Cap.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot stronger.
Probably. I mean, and that's the problem. I think that's the problem people have with this movie. I love it. I mean,
I love it,
is
though.
What it is, but I do see why people have that problem.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I didn't really see that problem, but I mean, maybe it's just, I guess Hugo Weaving, he worked on the Lord of the Rings, and that was a lot of hours of his time, so I guess he's just having to get involved with him.
That wasn't
he's done 6 of those movies. He's done 3 Matrix films.
Yeah,
he's no novice when it comes to these multi-picture big things. But maybe you're right. Maybe he just thought it was a little bit like not worth his time.
Yeah, he was underutilized in it, I think. I mean, because even with V for Vendetta, he did that whole damn movie with a mask on, and he didn't complain. He didn't complain about it because
he was still able to act through it the whole time.
Exactly, and I really think that he was hindered by this movie because, like we just said, they had to get to Avenger. If they were able to put this out instead of that first Hulk, or squeeze this movie in earlier where they could have had a sequel prior to Avengers, even give us 2 movies with World War Cap and then Avengers, I think that would have given him some more time. And I think he would have been happier with it.
I actually think we would have been happier overall because I could have done with more World War II Cap.
I agree. I mean, because you could have
But you know what? They can still do it. They can still do like a flashback film, like big chunk of the film in flashback, and really get those Howling Commandos, especially now that they're doing Peggy Carter. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? I don't think Marvel's going that way though with it. I mean, that's the thing. everything now is progressing forward to the next Avengers movie. So
Right.
What
I'm
if-
just meaning as flashback, like a good 20-minute chunk out of a film. That would be very satisfying.
I mean, they did a little of that in Winter Soldier.
Right, a little bit.
Yeah.
How
not
about
a
you-
lot. I mean, that you got a couple flashbacks with him and Bucky, and all they did with the Howling Commandos was that, which I really liked that they gave tribute, but it was that museum.
Right, the museum. Right, yeah, but they did use Dum Dum Dugan in the Peggy Carter
Show. Yeah. Which
and I've heard that those characters are going to be on Peggy Carter.
which will be cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, it will. We won't see him fighting with Cap, but we'll get to see those characters fleshed out, which I'm all for.
And we'll get to maybe we'll get to see them with original Nick Fury.
So what if? Oh yeah.
Oh.
Let's not get into that conversation again. That is a rabbit hole for us.
Yeah, yeah.
So Don Draper as Nick Fury in the Peggy Carter series. Oh. So I'm thinking Red Skull. What if they get a guy like Doug Jones to play the Red Skull? Because he did Silver Surfer and very effective acting through all that makeup. Imagine what he could do with this.
I think he's really tall though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 6'4".
Yeah, but does that matter here?
I mean,
He's been thrown into space. He's a human being. He's been stretched this way and that. He would look different.
I mean,
probably.
speaking of size adjustments, that was a huge thing that on the commentary that they talked about as far as sizing Chris Evans going from the CGI.
That was such an awesome effect. Now, how did they do that? Explain that, because I'm sure it was it another person's body and they put his head on it, or is that entirely CGI?
Well, it just kind of it was a combination of between one frame, one little two, him walking from point A to point B. That could have been 3 or 4 different things. There was one that was shrinking him, actually shrinking Chris Evans. Another was with the body double of putting his face on someone else, and then another was your average just kind of camera shots where you just the way you kind of shoot the film, where even if they are taller, they kind of make it look so it's not even a technical kind of thing. Like in Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence is taller than Pete. So then what's his name that plays Pete? I'm blanking out.
Right. I don't know. PETA. That's all we have to know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and it was just kind of interesting is that, they keep going back and forth. I'm just like, wow, the way that they kind of look at it and they can say, yeah, that was this place, that was this.
Wow. Because I was really watching that critically this time because I knew what was going to happen. And it is just an amazing effect. I mean, it is so believable.
Yeah.
And I also, I think when I saw it originally, I wasn't as tuned into his voice. Maybe last time it stuck out to me a little bit more, stuck out. You can tell I haven't had enough sleep. It stuck out to me a little bit more that it was an overdub with Chris's voice, and I was like, this time, no. Maybe it was just how I had the audio set up, but it seemed like that little guy's voice was coming out of that body.
Yeah, all they did here, I mean, because Joe Johnston wanted to do that. He wanted to hire, because they did have, they hired a guy who was a jockey. They could be small. That's what they wanted, a jockey's body. And initially, they just wanted to paste his face on there, kind of like how they did Benjamin Button and all those other movies.
I was just going to say Benjamin Button, yeah.
But I guess Chris Evans, they said, has a lot of little odd tics that they couldn't do it because he couldn't mimic it.
Oh, so Chris Evans is a freak, is what you're saying?
I guess so.
I know, on the commentary, they mentioned that someone couldn't replicate how Chris Evans runs because he runs like a dancer or something almost. That they couldn't
He does have an interesting run. I thought that during this when he was running through the streets, I thought he seemed. Now, see, it's interesting you say that because I was actually thinking it was a choice, not something that he does. I was thinking because he's got this new body, it was making him a little awkward when he was running.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just. I guess they just.
It might just be how he runs.
I mean, they just said, run as fast as you can, and then I guess someone else tried to mimic him, and they just couldn't get it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that weird Tom Cruise slice the air running going on.
Yeah, right. When we have enough said race, we're going to see which one of us runs like that, and we're going to mock them.
Yeah, well, it won't be me, because I'll have my inhaler with me. Remember, I'm asthmatic.
That's right, asthmatic a little. It'll be Jack. I have a feeling Jack runs like that. I'll throw him under the bus.
There you go. Right before he gets back on.
We mentioned Hunger Games, and there's a Hunger Games person in this, Toby Jones, playing Dr. Arnim Zola. I gotta say, once again, Cap 2 effect. As much as I enjoyed him the first time, this time, I kept thinking about him in Cap 2, and I loved him in this. And I especially loved the very first time you see him in this. Did you catch how they show him?
In the screen.
In the screen, just like in
yeah.
Cap 2. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. It never would have occurred to me. Not at all when I saw it the first time, like that was even something. That was definitely laid in there. There's no way that was not on purpose.
Have you not followed him in the comics, Arnim Zola?
Yeah, I know who it is in the comics, and I know that happens, but it wasn't something that stuck out to me. So when I saw it this time, it clicked, and I was like, oh, that is just awesome.
Actually,
and when I say that it was laid there, I feel that it was laid in there because they knew they were going there eventually.
Well, they did. They laid it in this movie. If you pause or still frame that scene where Cap saves Bucky, you see Zola grabbing a bunch of blueprints.
Oh,
one of those blueprints is actually the robotic suit with the TV in the stomach.
Yes. Oh, yes. I didn't catch that. That is awesome. Yeah, I was sitting there with I was watching with Molly, my daughter, and we there were times where I was explaining stuff to her and not quite watching. So that's one that I kind of briefly looked up and looked back down. So, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's a cool Easter egg because I like that character. I actually have an action figure of him.
I'm so surprised.
Exactly. I like the fact that they did this because to me it shows that they are willing to take chances on characters that they're talking about rumored to be in Cap 3. And I think Zola is one of these great characters for Hydra that we can see in Agent Carter. I think Toby Jones is going to be a surprise in Agent Carter.
Oh, I hope so.
Because I hope that is going to loop in to how he helped infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D. because he was one that started it. I mean, they brought him on and then they kept him, which they did that a lot, in our real history. After World War II, a lot of these Nazi scientists ended up working for the government. So this kind of all really
that was called Project Paperclip. Come on, didn't you watch X-Files?
I did watch X-Files.
That's where I learned about it, and that's a real thing. Project Paperclip. That's where they brought the Nazi scientists in. Did I lose you on that one?
No,
Jonathan's gone quiet. He's like, I hate Project Paperclip. I'm not talking about it.
And I don't like the X-Files.
Oh, who said that?
No, I'm just saying that's what he was saying.
You said it and you meant it. I heard it. I am going to, you know what?
I own all 10 seasons on DVD.
You know what's going to happen when we do our big event this week? I am giving Sean full license to punch you in the face.
I'm sure he will.
Well, I just thought it was interesting is that that is really the only character that Schmidt, Red Skull character, he doesn't think that Zola is not dispensable, is not,
right. Because he just kills at will everybody.
It's just
he doesn't kill Zola.
It's really the only person where you assume is safe because you know what I mean. You're just he can.
He even had a plan for him with the car where he's like, "Don't scratch the car."
It's almost like this tension where it's you annoy me so much and I just want to kill you, but I can't. I need your help. You know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of things.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I totally agree. So I want to talk about a couple of cameos that happened in this one. Did you guys notice Jenna Coleman, Clara from Doctor Who? Now, Jonathan, you don't watch Doctor Who, but Lil, you do, right?
I don't watch the new Doctor Who. So
what is wrong with you? My gosh, Lil.
I don't have enough time in the day to watch everything.
If you watch Doctor Who, you learn how to bend time. That was a disgust, wasn't it? So Clara, who is the current companion, she was the last companion, and she's going to be with the current Doctor. She had a cameo. When they're at the World Expo, she's the short, dark-haired of the two girls. There's the blonde and the dark-haired girl.
Oh,
okay. The dark-haired girl. That was Clara. I was so shocked, and Molly called it out before I did. She just also goes, "It's Clara!" Oh my gosh, good sighting. And then we also had, I'm going to get his name wrong. I'm forgetting his name. But the guy from Harry Potter, right at the beginning. David Bradley.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
David Bradley. And I love this guy. I couldn't think of his name, so how much do I love him? But I do love this guy. I love him in the Harry Potter movies. I think he's excellent in that. I forgot he was in this, so that was quite a surprise. And what's funny is I've actually been watching The Strain, which a lot of people are kind of busting on right now, even though I'm like 4 episodes in and I'm enjoying it for what it is. He's awesome on The Strain. So there you go. He was, speaking of it, he was on Doctor Who in the Dinosaurs on a Spaceship episode. So take that.
It all comes back to Doctor Who.
Yeah, and LL's like, I don't watch the new ones. I am only into the Tom Baker series.
Actually, Tom Baker is my Doctor Who.
I knew it. I know how old you are.
I
was all about the Jelly Bellies.
That's what I watched.
That was it, huh?
Yep.
Really sheltered life. Yeah, I'm a big Tom Baker fan too. Did you see the movie, the 50th anniversary movie?
No, I have it.
So you know nothing of possibly a Tom Baker cameo?
No.
All right.
Now I'm
moving
excited
right
to
ahead.
watch it.
Moving right ahead. Now that we've mentioned possibly the greatest cameo ever in dealing with Doctor Who, yeah, we'll just move right ahead, and I will call you weak for not knowing it. So who else did we have in this one? Stanley Tucci, Sam Jackson showed up as Nick Fury. That's no big surprise. Neil McDonough, that's the guy. He's Dum Dum Dugan. Now, I've seen him how many times as Dum Dum Dugan, but I didn't realize that's the guy from, well, he's been in everything, but he's the guy I loved in Band of Brothers. You guys ever see Band of Brothers?
Yes.
Man.
I have not. I don't think I have.
Oh, man, you're missing out on that one, too. You want a good World War II film, watch that series.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
then
hear.
just imagine Captain America running around in that, and then you'll be so mad we didn't get more of these Howling Commandos movies. Oh, and they'd go to Hitler's Eagle's Nest, and Cap would punch him in the face. Oh, man. Oh, I'm telling you.
You know what? We haven't even got.
I dare not speak its name. No, what?
We haven't even talked about the whole Star Spangled Man montage, which was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
I'm glad you brought that up. Mine too.
I actually own one of the War Bonds posters.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, did they do any action figures for that? For when he's
only
Star Spangled Man?
Only for Hot Toys, and I can't pay $250 for an action figure with him. But,
wow.
Yeah, I just can't. But I wanted it. I mean, it was that cool. But I've got the I want you to buy War Bonds poster frame here in my office.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? That whole montage, one of my favorite things in any of the Marvel movies. I love the music. I love how they have, the girls, and he walks out and it's got the cheesy punch. Like, all of it is just excellent. So well done.
Yeah, they're selling the first comics to the kids, or that's how they're buying the comics.
Yes, yes.
It is so cool because it's actually a lot of things that they did back in the World War II era that they used Captain America like this for kids to collect
in reality
paper and all this kind of stuff. So this was all kind of like a weird meta reality. It was really cool.
Yeah, my grandpa, he would have been one of those kids,
Yeah, well, actually, Jonathan, I'm glad you said that because that's what I was about to say. So way back, before Jonathan was one of our podcasters, he was a fan. And that's right, kids, dreams can come true.
When you believe. When you believe.
Yeah, when you believe. And if you click your heels like a Lil did, they don't come true. Everyone just calls you a wuss. But Jonathan sent me a file of him interviewing his grandfather, basically about like superheroes and what he dug as a kid. And I loved it. We edited it down. Martha and I listened to it a couple of times. We're like, we got to do something with this. We asked if we could put it on, and he let us put it on our Input Junkie feed. It's still up there, but you know what, Jonathan? I think that after this episode airs, midway through the week, I'm going to throw that interview with Poppy on here again.
Cool.
It's not going to have a new intro or anything. It's just going to be interview with Poppy. But anyone listening to this, I'm telling you, listen to this interview. It is so awesome.
Yeah, we go all over the place.
Yeah, you do. And when he talks about Captain America and like, okay, there's a scene when although you brought it up, when they're looking at the comics and they're like eating through these and that. I had a different perspective on that because of Jonathan's grandfather. One of the things he talks about is how, they kind of sheltered the kids from all this weird Nazi news that was happening, yet they felt like they were getting the news by reading the Captain America comic. The other thing that stuck out to me is he talked about how, like, right away when you talked Captain America to him, the thing that he brought up was the motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
And this movie, they really did a nice job of highlighting that motorcycle. That was really, really cool. So, hats off to Poppy, man. He really like enhanced this whole thing for me.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I'll put that on. It's so worth everybody's listen. I really think so. I just enjoyed it. Plus, he talks about some other stuff like you guys talk about Lone Ranger, and you might have even gotten into Green Hornet. The whole thing is just really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Lots of. If you like, radio, then that's definitely something to check out.
Yeah, they talk about radio too, and I'm a big like old time radio guy too. I love that stuff, and just hearing them talk about that, it actually, what it made me do is right after hearing that interview that you did with him, I subscribed on, I think it's on Pandora. There is an old time radio channel. And I started listening through some of those, and then I ditched that, and I went to Sirius because they have an old-time radio channel, and that became a little bit of an obsession for a while. Now, as I stated before, too busy. But yeah, that was a good interview, so I'll definitely put that on. And that montage really, really was fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely a catchy song, and I could definitely that's definitely one of the more memorable things, I pretty much have this movie like. It's not really. I kind of remember, basically the whole movie, but that's just definitely I've punched Hitler over 200 times.
Yeah, right. Oh, I love that. I love that.
And him just like sneaking around, it's just like you said. It's cheesy, but it's just funny.
You want to know? Here's another funny one. So when we were watching this, and they did that scene, and Hitler came behind, Molly, who's 7 years old, reacted to it the way they would want kids to react. She goes, "Oh no, it's Hitler."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that is fantastic. And how weird is it that my 7-year-old daughter knows who Hitler is? It's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah,
I'm like, because my daughter is 6. I don't think she knows who Hitler is, so.
Well, she's going to, because you're getting the Hot Toys Hitler statue.
Oh. Here, sweetie.
Here, play with this.
Here you go.
With removable mustache. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I might be interested in that. I remember there was a guy selling on eBay. He had like custom made Pez, and he had a Hitler Pez, and you could take the mustache off, and it was the Walt Disney Pez with the mustache off. Is what he said. I thought that was awesome.
Oh man, I was going to bring up. You were talking about Neil McDonough, Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah.
He has another connection to the Marvel Universe, overall Marvel Universe.
No, what is it?
He was the voice of Bruce Banner in the 90s Incredible cartoon series.
Was he really?
Yep, which I have on DVD.
You're such a show-off. Yet you haven't seen a new Doctor Who ever.
I haven't. I mean, just like you were saying, there's not enough time. You only saw this movie twice.
Yeah, that excuse only works once, though. Sorry.
Only one person gets that excuse.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I do want to point something else out. As long as we're talking toys and things, those Buy War Bonds posters. It says coming September 14th on Entertainment Earth, which Entertainment Earth is one of our sponsors. If you go, it's an affiliate sponsor. If you go to our website, there is a banner for Entertainment Earth. And if you click on the banner, it puts you in as one of our customers. And it helps us out. But you can order stuff from Entertainment Earth that way and help us out. And on there, Captain America Avenger 1 replica poster, and then the one where he's saluting. Both of them, the War Bonds posters, $20.
Yep, that's where my wife got them for me for Christmas.
Well, I'm so glad she didn't order them with our name attached to it, because
we didn't.
God help she help us out. So, man, boy, I'm going to say something to her when I meet her. Oh, they also have the one. This is cool. This is actually might even be cooler. They have the Captain America one where it says tour canceled until further notice.
Oh, when he was gone, yeah.
Yeah, that's even cool. Not even cooler, but just as cool.
I think they have. Don't they have Coulson's bloody Captain America cards as well?
Oh, I didn't see that. Probably. I mean, this site, the reason that we contacted them and said, hey, we're interested in, having a relationship, is because you could literally spend all of your money at this awesome site. Like, I think I might have mentioned my love of Doctor Who. They have awesome Doctor Who stuff. They have awesome Avenger stuff. They have all the bobbleheads and the toys. It's fantastic.
The Coulson cards are out of stock.
Oh, weak.
Sorry. You get 2 copies too. One bloody, one not bloody.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, wow. And it comes with a really cool, display case and everything. What is this?
I think it only holds a few of the cards though, because it holds them all together.
Right.
So if you want to play all of them, like I would get like a shadow box and like put them all in. Like I've already mapped out in my head when I eventually get these how I'm going to display them.
Okay, Jonathan, which one of us gets to say geek first to him? Because I am dying to call him a geek for that one.
Hey,
I'm a geek.
I'm a geek. That's why my show is called The League of Geeks.
Oh, getting that plug in.
Always shameless plugs.
So are you going to buy an Infinity Gauntlet?
You know they have that one for.
I know they do.
I can't spend $90 on that thing. It's a foam glove.
Come on, you've spent $90 on a rubber fist before. Let's admit it.
I can't even respond.
Yep. So, all right. What else do we have to talk about with Captain America?
Nothing. It was great.
Now, Joe Johnston, he's the one that designed, the director of this, he's the one that designed Boba Fett's outfit, isn't he?
He actually worked both on Raiders of the Lost Ark. He worked.
He was Jurassic Park, Jumanji, all that stuff.
Did you get that in this movie? I got a bit of Star Wars in this movie at the end when Cap was making his way to the Red Skull's base on the motorcycles.
Yeah.
That was the speeders on Endor.
Yeah, totally. I totally was getting all of that stuff. And when you look at the costume, because the costume in this is just amazing. Everything from the final costume to the, Spangled Hero. I mean, they're fantastic costumes. Once again, it reeked of, this is the guy that designed Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Which is just an iconic, awesome costume. And when you think about it, I mean, the guy directed Rocketeer too. And Rocketeer, the costume, I think that's a movie that's aching to be remade. Because I would love him to remake it, to tell you the truth. But it's a little dated in its effects. I think if they redid The Rocketeer, let him direct it, but with the budget he did for Captain America, I think you would have a killer film. And I love the design in that. I don't know. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he comes in and you see the Red Skull and all his troops, you see the whole hangar and like.
Oh yeah. Well, and did you guys notice? This is something else I noticed. The helmets that the Red Skull's troops wear look very much like Cap's helmet in Avengers. It didn't look like it as much in this movie. Like when he got his new helmet, it looked like, okay, it looks like an appropriate helmet for that time. But when he gets his updated costume now and he puts on the helmet at one point, that's, to me, very much what it looked like, which I thought was a really cool little thing.
Huh. Yeah, I think I could go with that. Another thing, another interesting tidbit is that there was actually only 70 troops there, actual people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it looks like several hundred.
They do that all the time in things like Star Wars. There are like 14 guys on set, right? But man, this was really effective. I really did think that was a huge group. It was good enough that I didn't think about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, at first you think it's just like this small group of like a small squad, and then they just pull back, and it's just like this massive army.
Yeah, and it doesn't look CGI. I mean, it looks like people.
Right.
Yeah, that was the other one. Molly like laughed out loud when they did the Hail Hydra and they put both fists up. She's like, "Yes!" I'm like, "Wow, what Hail Hydra?"
Yeah, be careful with that one.
Yeah. And then I pulled off my skin and I was a Red Skull underneath. Sadly, that was just blood and tissue. That joke didn't go very well for me. Very painful.
Yes. Oh, speaking of the Red Skull mask, they did talk about the Red Skull mask, how, some of it was makeup and then like some of it was like enhanced computer, and like some of the shots, like they had to change between the makeup, and it definitely a complicated process, but
I bet the nose had to be
like every
computer generated.
Yeah, like every single frame the nose had to be like cut off. Like computer generated.
Either that or they just put red makeup all over Michael Jackson because it's a very similar nose.
Ooh.
Oh, was he dead by this point?
Yes.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Not too soon. Not too soon at all. I'm laughing. Well, okay. What else do we have on Captain America? Is that it?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like we talked it out pretty well.
I guess I just want to say a few things about Stanley Tucci. Just a little bit we had of him. I thought he definitely brought this kind of presence. Definitely brought this humor that.
Oh yeah, he's such a fantastic.
I mean, I recently saw him on a movie that came out a while ago. He played he's played like a serial killer in The Lovely Bones, and the movie was all right, but like his performance was just amazing. So really, every single movie I see him in, he like completely transforms. He's
Yeah,
like, "Please
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus for that movie. It gets actually kind of criticized. People don't love that movie. I actually really enjoy elements of it, and I think a lot of it has to do with his performance. I think he's just great.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow. Oh wait, that was Stanley Tucci. He's just and I just love the thing where it's like one of my favorite like funny scenes is like, oh, no liquids. You have procedure tomorrow. When they're about to drink together, it's like, oh no, I'll drink. I don't have procedure tomorrow.
Yeah, right, right. And then he says, "Hey, we're gonna have that the schnapps after this procedure." It's like, no.
Not as much as I like. We don't have as much.
Yeah, that's good.
So he's definitely one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, well, if you go to IMDb, start looking through his body of work. I mean, it really is excellent. And when you realize he's the guy in these things, you're like, oh, I remember him in this, and I remember him in that. He's excellent. I'm going to highlight one of my favorite movies with Stanley Tucci. As long as we're throwing a little love out there. You guys ever see the movie Big Night?
Yes.
Can't say that I have.
Okay, first of all, Alil, you already said you're a foodie. I know you saw Big Night. Jonathan, you need to see it. It's Stanley Tucci and I can't think of his name. Monk. You know who Monk is?
Yeah.
Tony
So-
Shalhoub. Yeah, he plays his brother, and they own a restaurant, and the restaurant's failing, and it's an Italian place, and they get wind that Louis Prima, this musician, is coming in and going to eat dinner there, and this is going to put them back on the map because they can say Louis Prima ate in our restaurant. So they create this meal that is astounding. And my brother-in-law lived down the street from an Italian place that did Big Night nights. You could pay like $75 and eat that meal. And they only did it like once a month or something, and the place would be packed to eat this just insane Italian meal. So the movie's all about the food, but it's a great movie. And Stanley Tucci he's just amazing in it. So there you go. I threw a little love out there for him. Not in a weird way, cut it out.
You want to hear a movie he was terrible in?
Are you going to say Transformers 4?
No, I just
Because he wasn't. I liked him in
No,
that.
I liked him in that as well.
Yeah, same here.
It was Beethoven. God, it was such a bad movie.
Beethoven?
Yes, I just watched it with my kids, and I didn't even remember he was in it. And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Stanley Tucci, and he's playing some creepy dog hunter guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was him and Oliver Platt. They were working for Dean Jones, stealing dogs, and I was like,
wow.
this is so bizarre.
Okay, I am going to reveal something that I have not revealed before.
I'm scared.
Not on a podcast. No. No. This is actually something I don't usually discuss, but I am throwing this out there. And it's going to make sense why in a moment. So, you know the game 6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon? 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Have you ever heard of that game?
Yes.
Okay, Jonathan, do you know that game?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So you can basically take Kevin Bacon and within 6 connections put him to any movie. So you can say, I'm trying to think of one. Avengers. Can't think of a movie. We're talking about a movie right here. And you can start taking actors that have been like somebody that's in this. They were in another movie with so and so. That person was in this movie with so and so. And eventually, within 6 movies, you can always get back to Kevin Bacon. I was in a movie, and with this movie, as a joke, every once in a while we would do 6 Degrees of Rob Southgate, and you would be surprised how many movies I am within a couple of. Like movies that I go, holy crap, I'm like 2 away. Can I just tell you, Beethoven, I'm 1 away.
Really?
1 away. I might have even been in Beethoven. I wasn't. But it's like that close. I'm looking right now to see who else is in it because I might be 1 away for more than one reason. No, not that I see. But I will say Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in Beethoven, which having him in that puts me 2 away from all the awesome movies that have come out. David Duchovny's in it. That puts me 1 away from a number of movies.
Wait,
Or 2
Joseph
away.
Gordon-Levitt was in this? I just watched it. Who was he?
Student number 1.
I'm totally...
He's probably like 5,
Yeah, I was going to say... Yeah, I was like, I did not see that.
Yeah, but I didn't know David Duchovny was in that.
Oh, yeah, he was...
Stanley Tucci, Oliver Platt.
Him and Patricia Heaton. They were like a couple, and they were like sleazy and
Patricia Heaton. Yeah. Dean Jones, Bonnie Hunt, Charles Grodin. Yeah, this is one where when you look at these people, if you play that game, anything that those people have been in with somebody else puts me 2 away from any one of those movies or any TV show. So yeah, we could pretty much play. We could probably play 3 degrees of separation with me, and I'm like 1, 2, or 3 away from just about every movie when you start doing it that way. Got to tell you, it doesn't translate to jack, but it's funny.
You're 3 degrees from Captain America because it's Stanley Tucci.
I would be
David Duchovny to Stanley Tucci to Chris Evans.
No. I would be 2 away from Captain America because what I'm in links 1 away from Beethoven. That's a direct link.
Right.
The next link would be
Captain America. Okay, I got
Beethoven to Captain America. I'm 2 away from Cap, which makes me 3 away from Avengers at the worst case scenario. But that's only if I'm doing Stanley Tucci's. I bet I could come up with something closer. So take that. Think about that one for a while. Boy, there's a lot of silence on this one. I thought I was revealing something pretty cool, and you guys are like, no, this sucks, or you're trying to figure out what I did.
I'm trying to figure out what you did.
Yes, same here.
You're trying to figure out what movie.
David Duchovny is the key here.
No, he's not.
You were 1 degree.
I'm 1 degree away from this. I'm 2 away from X-Files. I'll tell you this. It's not an actor on it, but it absolutely counts as one of the degrees. It's the director. It's the director that I have that connection with. If you click on the director,
Brian Levant.
Yep.
Jingle All the Way.
Amazing. Yes.
What?
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Yep. So there's something I don't usually reveal to people. In fact, if you've listened, we've done over 400 podcasts at this point. Not once has it come up. Not once. So there it is. Laid out there for you guys. Now you're going to be playing that game all the time. Like, oh my God, Arnold Schwarzenegger's in this. He's 1 away.
Mall store employee number 2.
Yep. Most important thing is I'm 1 away from anything with Sinbad. So, if they ever do Housecast 2, wait a minute.
I was just about to say, I love Sinbad.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's too soon? Too soon?
I don't think it's too soon, but still.
Too soon? Hey, I'm 2 away from Star Wars Episode 1.
That's right. Jake Lloyd was in Jingle All the Way.
That's right. I'm 2 away from Revenge of the Nerds because Booger is in Jingle All the Way. No, hell no. I'm 1 away. 1 away from that. And that makes me 1 away from Star Wars Episode 1. 1 away.
How many is
wait.
How many from
1 away from Blazing Saddles. What do you think about that?
It was one of the best comedies of all time.
It's the greatest. 1 away from Housecast.
1 away from Terminator.
1 away from Terminator. Yep. See what a fun game it is?
1 away from Red Heat.
On 2 counts. I should get extra credit. You should actually just say I was in it because I'm in it with 2 people.
2 away from Batman and Robin, right?
Oh. 1 away.
Oh, no, 1 away.
1 away. Come on, Jonathan. You're losing the game if you can't do it that quickly.
Right. I meant actually 2 away from George Clooney. Or, let's see.
Well, that's because of a court order.
Yeah. 1 away from Seinfeld.
That's right.
The Danny Woodburn.
You can tell what this has really done for my career because I'm sitting on a podcast with you 2.
I was just about to say it. Well, because now, because we do a podcast that works, so now I'm only 2 away.
No, you're about 75 away. Podcast puts you way down the line.
Damn.
You're like, oh, heck, I'm going to start using that to my advantage. Kids, I'm 1 away. Shut up, Dad.
Exactly. They won't care.
Go take your rubber fist and get out of here.
Oh.
Thanos' fist. All right, are we done? We played the game. I'm going to have to edit some of this game. This was terrible. But there was my big reveal. On the next episode, we're going to make somebody cry. That'll be the next exciting thing we have happen on the Nuff Said podcast. Are we done?
I think we're good.
All right.
Captain America, amazing.
Amazing. Next episode, Avengers. And we're blowing it out and bringing Jack back for it.
Jack is back.
So, yeah. And here's the sad thing. The only person on that podcast that hasn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, me.
Oh.
Still haven't gone. I'm going Sunday.
Well, at least you'll go Sunday.
Yes. So there we go. You can find past episodes of this and all of our other podcasts at our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Find us on all the different social media. Look up either Nuff Said Podcast, Nuff Said Pod, or look up Southgate Media Group. You can also find me at our Southgate. Jonathan, go ahead and give yours.
JEVEL49er on Twitter, and then I have my two podcasts, Radio Ramen and at Radio Free Ondor. So.
Yeah, both I love. Both awesome. And and then you're also doing the Radio Rebels and anime. You're doing Rebels.
Well, that's all kind of I mean,
it's all kind of tied together.
It's all kind of tied together.
But yeah, we need Star Wars talk. We go to you. If you want to interview somebody that's one away from Star Wars,
I almost said that. I swear, I almost said that.
I would be the biggest get ever. You got to tell the guys on League of Geeks that I got us another big get.
There you
guy
go.
from a movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. You want to hear a funny one? When after that movie came out, our friend's kid saw a commercial for it and said, saw him, Schwarzenegger, when he was governor, and it said, governor or whatever. And she goes, "How did that guy that's in the movie with Rob become a governor? Like, the important one in the movie was me, not Schwarzenegger."
Yeah.
That puts me one away from governor. Oh, I'm very close to president now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too soon? Okay, Alil, so tell us about you. Where can they catch up with you?
At the League of Geeks podcast.
You want to say that in English?
The League of Geeks podcast. That's Geeks with a Z. On Twitter at LOGEEKZ. Facebook at the League of Geeks podcast. Instagram and anywhere else all over the internet. I'm all over the place.
There you go. Yeah, you're all over the place. You're all over the place. Listen to me. I'm all over the place.
That's true. I'm not 1 degree from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No. Legally, you've got to be about 75 degrees, as we stated before. So you can also find us on Tumblr, on Instagram, on Pinterest. That's right, a little Pinterest. I know you're a big fan. And basically, if there's social media out there, you'll find us. That's it. Okay, until the next episode. This has been the Nuff Said podcast. Oh, I can't wait. Next episode, we're talking Avenger. Okay, I'm done. Thanks, everybody. Nuff said.
Nuff said.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.